English afternoon tea etiquette. My name is Tina Leader, and I'm going to take you through the main points of afternoon tea etiquette so you don't look foolish and you are proper. So when it comes to afternoon tea etiquette, which is different from high tea, and if you don't know the difference, please click on the description after this video. But when it comes to afternoon tea etiquette, we want to remember that this goes back to the aristocratic days. So a lot of it has to do with being as quiet and as delicate and classy as possible in all times. So what that really means is that your basic dining etiquette is going to go into your afternoon tea etiquette. Number one, you have your napkin and you just make sure that the crease is folded towards you. You do it under the table. And if you want to know more about napkin etiquette, I put that link in the description. When it comes to pouring your tea into your cup, you want to make sure to put in the tea first and then the milk. Between 17th and 18th century, they used to use fine bone china, and oftentimes the teacup would break because it was so delicate that that temperature of the tea itself would crack the fine bone china. So in order to combat this, they used to put the milk in first to cool the temperature of the tea that comes in. So now it's time to stir your tea in your teacup. Now, very similar to how to eat soup in my video that I made before, I'll link below if you haven't checked it out already. You want to make sure that you produce as little noise as possible. And as part of that, you'll pick up your spoon and it'll be sideways. You just go side to side like so, front and back. You don't want to do circles. You don't want to clink it all around because that's... you just don't want to make noise. And it's not so much that you're going to break the teacup by doing that, but it's quite rude to make a lot of noise when you're stirring in general. Now you want to sip on your tea. Never gulp, never make any crazy noises, but you want to sip. But in order to pick it up, this is very convenient. You want to pinch the teacup. You never, if this had a loop, I see some people who will put their finger in. You never want to put your finger in a teacup. You actually always want to pinch it. What's great about this Versace teacup is that they already know this etiquette clearly, so they just provided this wing instead of a loop. So you go ahead and pinch the teacup and you go ahead and sip. When you sip the teacup, you want to look down at your tea. You usually don't look up and look away, even though it looks really cute in photos. But etiquette-wise, you're supposed to look at your tea while you're sipping your tea. And then once you are done sipping, you can go ahead and look up, interact with people. When it comes to scones, it's very important for you to know where the cream comes from. So number one, if it comes from Cornwall or it's a Cornish Scottish cream, you want to put on the jam first and then the cream because that is how it's supposed to be consumed. Or number two, if it's a Devonian cream, you want to put on the cream first and then the jam. This is something your host would know, so go ahead and ask the host what cream it is, and then you can go ahead and follow that etiquette. But if it is outside those two different options, then you can essentially do whatever feels good to you, which is always my favorite. So just make sure you ask the host so you're not being rude. Now that you are finished with your tea, you can go ahead and pick up your napkin, dab your mouth. We always want to dab, and then go ahead and set it to the side. All right, if you enjoyed today's English tea etiquette, then hit that like button and hit the subscribe button if you'd like to see more of this content in the future, and comment below. Let me know what you thought about afternoon tea, and if you're going to do any type of afternoon tea in the future. I would like to know, comment below, and I will see you in the next video.